What's up, guys? It's the Warrior COTP right here. All right, hold the applause. Thank you. Um, so today will be uh, my movie collection part 4. Um, Trying to knock a little bit out each day. And just like usual, I got them separated. One pile into online, another pile in the Goodwill, and another pile in the Dollar Tree, which I kept the Dollar Tree for the end because I think I only had 2 from the Dollar Tree in this. And this one right here, Good Times, I thought was Walmart, but I remembered I got it off eBay. I think I bought this one for like 15 bucks or something. So, yeah. I think everybody that around my age or older have seen Good Times, or you're living under a rock. But it's a TV show from the 70s. It had Janet Jackson in it when she was younger, and the man JJ Kid Dynamite. If you've never seen it, I would definitely say check this TV show out. It was very funny. All right. Second movie. This is Against All Hope. This is one of Michael Madsen's first movies. It might even be his first. You'd have to look it up, but it's a faith-based movie. It's about a guy that's married that struggles with an alcohol addiction and just nonstop makes bad decisions, and God brings him through it. But yeah, if you want to check it out, remember, guys, you can always hit pause when I do the back cover if you want to read them and what they're about. And this is one of the reasons I like watching these myself of people, because it lets me in on movies I might not know about or never heard about. So that's why, one of the joys I'm getting out, just instead of just going through one movie at a time, if I know anything about it, I try to, spit it in your ear. All right, so this one is a 2-movie set. It's Walt Disney, Davy Crockett, and Davy Crockett, King of the Wild Frontier, and Davy Crockett and the River Pirates. This is a childhood thing, back VHS days, from the rental stores. So I never owned this. My dad might have bought it down the road when I was older, but he used to rent it from the video store every so often, probably at least once every other year or something when I was a kid. But very cool movies if you've never seen it. I think also these are on the Disney Plus. So if you got Disney Plus, you can check them out on there. And also his partner is the guy that plays Barnaby Jones, if you like TV shows. All right, so I got this off eBay because this movie had Dirk Benedict in it. It's called like a snake or a serpent, and I've never seen it. I didn't know nothing about Legacy. If it's any good, it's a Sam Elliott, so I'm sure it's decent. But I got it because of Dirk Benedict. Dirk Benedict was on A-Team, and I saw that he was in this movie. That's why I got it. But it looks like it's 3 movies, and the other one's Centennial. Yeah. Seems like they got a lot crammed in. I guess you'd have to zoom maybe if you got a phone. Sorry about that. All right, so next one. I've never seen these two. I did when I was younger, I used to rent the Captain America that was made in 1990. It was actually kind of cheesy now I look back and think about it, but I rented it a couple times. You know, I just like superhero movies when I was young. A lot more than I like nowadays. You know, I always like Batman, so. But anyway, this is Captain America 1 and 2. I heard about this set, and I looked it up on eBay. I found it for a good price. I think I got it for like, I might have got this for $10. I might have got it for $5 though. I can't really remember. But I ended up getting it. I looked at reviews on it. I saw that it's a little bit cheesy from reviews, but hey, man, it's early Captain America. What really effects do you think they had? But it can't be any cheesier than the 1990 movie that was made. But which I don't have that one. I've saw a burnt copy of it, which I refuse to buy, just knowing it's burnt. And all the other copies are pretty expensive, so I will not buy the 1991 unless I find it for cheaper. Now, this I watched after I bought it, My Blue Heaven, because, you know, I like Rick Moranis and Steve Martin. So I actually watched this movie. He's on parole, and I think he's also a witness against a mob. So he's being watched by police. It's pretty funny, though, because he's nonstop scheming the whole movie, and he gets away with it because he's a witness in a case. But, yeah, that's the movie. Now, this is a movie, Deuces Wild. It's a movie that I forgot about. One of my friends from work actually brought this up to me, and I wasn't sure if I ever seen it or not, and I bought it, and I realized I did watch it when I was a little bit younger, in my 20s. But it has dude from Walking Dead that plays Daryl Dixon in it. You can barely recognize him. He's so young. It's probably even before that movie Boondock Saints, if you ever seen that. Oh yeah, and it has Malcolm in the Middle in it. The dude that plays it. Pretty cool movie. It's a cool 1950s gang movie, or 60s, whatever time period it took place. Alright, so this is, I'm pretty sure, the last year. No, this ain't the last year. Like after we got Flacco was the last year I stopped watching the Ravens. But this is the Super Bowl that Flacco beat lots of records in, so I had to buy it. I got it off eBay, which a month ago I found the same movie, which I only paid $5 for it anyway, but I saw the same movie for $1.29 at Goodwill for the same Super Bowl documentary. So I could have saved off on that and saved some money if I would have waited. But all right, so the next one, Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke. This and Nice Dreams, I think it was Nice Dreams, are the only Cheech and Chong movies I like. I waited a long time to find this, and I did not find it, so I just ended up finding it for cheap, and I bought it. As you can see, it says on here $2.99, but I think I paid about $5 for it, or I bought it in a movie pack deal, maybe. Can't really remember, but like I said, I know the movies I've actually paid more for, and it's not too many. I usually get like buy one get one free deal, so it comes out even under $5. Almost comes out to Goodwill prices, but not really. It's a little bit more. But yeah, if you've never seen Up in Smoke, it's actually the best Cheech and Chong. If you think there's one better, let me know and give me your reason. I'll just tell you that Cheech and Chong is very funny. All right, So this movie, I thought I was going to run into Revenge of the Nerds, which I still need to get Revenge of the Nerds 2 and 3. I thought I was going to run into it eventually. All the years I've been going to thrift stores and stuff, but I never did. So I ended up actually buying it, and I'm pretty sure this was part of a movie deal that I got. So, but I don't think this was $5. I think this was like $7 or something, $8. And like I said, I got a movie deal, so it actually brought it down in price. But that's Revenge of the Nerds. If you've never seen it, it's a funny comedy. It has the one biker dude from Bloodsport in it. And it has Marcy's first husband. That was the park ranger. I forgot his name. And Married with Children. He's in it too. But yeah, that's Kung Fu. David Carradine's brother. I forgot his name. Robert Carradine. Next, The Sure Thing. John Cusack. 80s movie. One of the movies I picked up off of eBay. You know, I try to get all the 80s movies that I've, you know, watched or liked. And this is one of them. So, yeah, if you've never seen it, pretty cool movie. Another 80s movie with Patrick Dempsey. And I'll just tell you like this. I like a lot of different Patrick Dempsey movies. I heard that he got not blackballed, but people wouldn't work with him after like 90 to whenever he started making that TV show where he was a doctor. But I don't know, every movie he did, he was pretty good. I think he dropped out of high school too when he was younger. He had like some kind of learning disability. But yeah, you never seen this movie. It's pretty cool. And I think this might be on YouTube. I think. I know it was on Tubi at one point. Alright, so Robin Hood, Men in Tights. I waited and waited to find this movie. I thought I was going to find it. I got a lot of Robin Hoods. But I never found it, so I finally found a deal on it on eBay for pretty cheap. I remember this was actually under $5. So I ended up getting Men in Tights. I think this has Dave Chappelle in it, maybe? Yeah, Dave Chappelle's in it. But pretty funny movie. Alright, so I never watched this movie. I saw it when I was younger. Or seen it advertised and stuff like that. I never watched it, but I ended up watching it. I liked it a lot, and I ended up buying it. Another 80s movie, Some Kind of Wonderful. And actually, the main song in this movie, you can listen to it on YouTube, but it's a really cool song, but I don't think it has any type of copyright or something on it because it's not on like iTunes or nothing. So I don't know what's up with that, but it's a cool song. You can't even listen to it on iTunes or nothing. There you go, you can freeze that and read it out. Next, Meet Me in St. Louis. I think I might have another copy of this movie. This is Judy Garland from Wizard of Oz, Mickey Rooney's ex-wife. But this is something me and my wife both wanted, and I ended up just ordering it. Like I said, I think I might have another copy of it. I'm not sure. But if you've never seen it before, classic old movie. Inkheart. This is a movie we watched, me and my wife together, and we both ended up liking it. It has Brandon Fraser in it, from George of the Jungle and Encino Man and stuff, and Airheads, and we liked it a lot, and we pretty much ordered it right after we saw it. I found it off eBay for under $5. So yeah, if you've never seen it, I never even heard of it before we watched it, so I don't think it made that big of a splash in the box office, but it was definitely a pretty good movie. I liked it a lot. It's cool, like, fantasy adventure. It's pretty much what it is, a fantasy adventure. All right, so this is Eastbound and Down, complete second season. I got the first season. I do not have the third yet, or the fourth. But if you've never seen Eastbound and Down, it's a comedy with Danny McBride. It was on HBO. Probably one of the funniest comedy TV shows of all times, in my opinion. It's hilarious. I don't know, very, I guess, underrated, but, you know, it was on HBO, so it was kind of, I guess, like, I don't know what the word for it is. Basically, you know, if it was on, like, regular TV, it would have probably made more waves. But, Mr. Destiny, I think this is a baseball movie, if I'm not wrong. I don't know, but anyway, I've never seen it. But this is with James Belushi from forgot all the movies he was in, K9 and stuff. But I like James Belushi a lot. I actually got a good bit of his movies. One that's really hard to find is the one where he's the principal. I think it's called The Principal. That movie is really hard to find. I mean, you can find it, but you're paying like $25-$30 for it. You're paying more than an average movie for it if you want it, because I don't know why that movie's price is jacked up, but it is. But here's that. So I don't remember seeing this. I might have seen it before. I wouldn't doubt it. There's a lot of movies I saw when I was younger I can't remember. All right, so I always wanted to run into some seasons of this, and I actually ran into the complete second season of this on eBay, and this I got for super cheap. It was literally $5. I remember I was like super stoked, and I was like, it was in like a bundle deal of you know, buy so many, get some cheaper and stuff. So I jumped on this real quick. That's Linda Carter right there. She was in that TV show Hawkeye in the 90s, which I showed in one of my videos already. And I also think she lived in Maryland at one point, in Silver Spring. My boss said he moved her house back before he owned his business. All right, so this movie, What's Eating Gilbert Grape, this old Johnny Depp movie, and Leonardo DiCaprio. This movie I was hoping to find for years and years and years, and then I finally found it on eBay for cheap. And all the other times I looked, I could not find it for cheap. So luckily, I ended up finally finding it for cheap. I didn't have to overpay for it. So I was definitely stoked about that. But yeah, if you've never seen What's Eating Gilbert Grape, pretty good family movie. Sad but funny too. All right, I found this. I actually thought this was more than what it ended up being. I got this in like a movie bundle, you know, buy so many, get so many free. So I didn't pay much for it, but I actually thought this was a little bit of more than it was. So, featuring the classic episode that introduced Maude. Maude, if you guys don't know, Maude was originally made, and the mom from Good Times was in Maude, and this is basically a spin-off, or Maude, or Good Times was a spin-off TV show of Maude. Basically, the mom of Good Times was the housekeeper of Maude, but yeah, so maybe Maude was in this first. I don't know. I don't know what that means, but looks like there's only 8 episodes in this if you're looking for this. So, I wouldn't mind having that complete series. I thought All in the Family was pretty good, but wasn't my favorite. I thought it was funny though. Him always insulting Meathead and stuff. A little bit before my time. I only watched reruns of it. So this is a double feature. Roddy Piper double feature. It's called Sci-Fighters and Terminal Rush. I actually came across this looking for They Live, and I saw this, and it was brand new, and I got it for cheap. So I think I got this one for $5. So I thought that was a steal, because being Roddy Piper and he's dead, I feel like you could have got more money for this, because this is probably rarer than, They Live. Yeah, there's what those are about, if you want to pause them at any point. Now, next, They Live. See, I got them the same time as I got They Live. They Live is one of those movies that I kept looking for and kept finding it for more expensive, or kept seeing it not for cheap. So I finally caught They Live for pretty cheap on eBay. But that's the thing. It's just like going to your local Goodwill. If you don't consistently look on there, you're not going to catch the deals for stuff. So I ended up catching the deals for this and finding it for cheaper than what I usually would find it for. Is this movie you could usually only find for 10 or more. But honestly, I always thought I was going to end up running into this at the Goodwill. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about They Live. It's a cult classic with Roddy Piper. Arguably his best movie he ever made, the wrestler Roddy Piper. It's a great movie. Honestly, it's one of my top. See, I don't want to throw around top 20 either, but I would say it's definitely in my top 50 movies. I would definitely check it out. I don't want to give nothing away. Just watch it. All right, so I came across this. I do collect Burt Reynolds movies. I like a lot of his movies. If I've never seen a movie and I see one on Tubi or something, I watch it. But I got a good amount of Burt Reynolds movies, and I've never seen Run, Simon, Run before. So I ended up buying this, and I got it for cheap off eBay. So, like I said, when I say cheap, it's usually $5 to $4 or $3, depending. But all right, next one I got is John Wayne Brannigan. This was around the time in the 70s when Dirty Harry was really big, and all the cop movies in the 70s were coming out. So, of course, what did they do? They got John Wayne to do like a Dirty Harry almost type movie, and it was Brannigan. They were trying to pull him off of basically Westerns, I'm guessing, and got him to do Brannigan. And it's actually a really good movie. If you like John Wayne, you'll love Brannigan. And I think Been a while since I've seen this. Yeah. Anyway, it's a good movie. Should definitely check that out. And then right after that, because I got these both at the same time, and luckily I actually got both of them at the same time, and I think I might have paid for one of these like a little bit more than $5, like $6 or $7. But I know one of them I got for $5. But I ended up buying McHugh too, and just like Brannigan, it was another cop movie with John Wayne. But it was cool. If you're a John Wayne fan and you respect his acting, you're going to like it. I'm saying, you like Dirty Harry type movie, you're going to like it. All right, so as you can see, I think this movie was bought from Big Lots, but I did not buy it from Big Lots. I bought it from somebody off eBay, and I did not buy it for $188, but it was the Ned Kelly movie with Heath Ledger, and it was The Boxer with Daniel Day-Lewis. So I bought this specifically for the Daniel Day-Lewis The Boxer movie, but it was a plus because it came with the Heath Ledger Ned Kelly movie. And I have a Ned Kelly movie with Mick Jagger from the 70s. So that was actually cool getting that and that together. So I'm not sad about that find. But yeah, I didn't pay much for that anyway. I probably paid like $5. All right, so this is the Romeo Juliet that most people, I know at least I did. I watched it in high school. This is what they showed, I think, in 9th or 10th grade, this Romeo and Juliet. So I ended up buying it. Yeah, I always remembered watching it. So I got this for pretty cheap. If you've never seen it, check it out. The Elephant Man. My dad had this back in the day on VHS, and I love this movie. It's actually based on a real life man and story. Nominated for 8 Academy Awards, enough said. The Elephant Man with John Hopkins. There you go. All right, so next I got some Goodwill finds. And this first one is the Presidio, which I'm guessing... Actually, I'm not even going to try to guess. I think what Presidio, I don't know what that means. President, maybe? I'm not sure. But it has Sean Connery in it. And I'd never heard of this movie before in my life, but I love Sean Connery, and if I see a movie of Sean Connery, I'm buying it. And through my collection, you're going to see that I got some Sean Connery movies y'all might not even never heard of. So if you want to be surprised by some cool movies, keep watching my videos. All right, so I don't know much about that, but if you want, I just flipped the back for you guys. You guys can pause it and read it. All right, so I saw this movie years back. It was definitely a pretty funny movie, Neighbors, with Seth Rogen. I ended up finding this probably less than a half a year ago or something, and snatched it up. I think it's $1.29, pretty cool slipcase. All right, so I came across this movie, I can't tell you how many times. Ethan Hawke and Lawrence Fishburne in Assault on Precinct 13. I love the original one that's made by the guy that makes Halloween and Escape from New York, John Carpenter. Yeah, and I love the soundtrack for the original Assault on Precinct 13. So, you know, I was kind of being one of those movie snobs are like, oh, the second one ain't going to be as good as the original. I still don't know if it's as good or not. But I ended up buying it, and like I said, I came across it a bunch of times. I think what it was, every time I came across it, I was so pissed off that it wasn't the original. I would just be like, I'm not buying it, So I finally bought it after I got Assault on Precinct 13 off eBay. If you want, watch the original trailer for Assault on Precinct 13. I think it was made in 78 or 77, something like that. All right, so I came across this movie, and I've never heard of any of these actors. He does look familiar, but what got me was the old-time clothes in this. Just looked like a good family movie. So if you want to read what that's about, you're more than welcome. Just looked like a good movie. So that's why I got it. Now, I've heard nothing but good things about this movie, The Pursuit of Happiness. So I ended up getting it. Like I said, I haven't watched it yet. But I did. Whenever I see this previewed, I always check the movies at Goodwill anyway, but this one was okay. Yeah, Pursuit of Happiness, Will Smith. I know this is a real tearjerker movie. I know that. One of the best films of the year. Sniper Reloaded with Billy Zane. And if anybody ever watched the original Sniper with Tom Berenger, I think Billy Zane was in that one, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a while. But yeah, I saw this, and I've never watched it before, but I've watched all the other. I had them all on VHS at one point, all the Snipers, and I ended up. I found all these from Goodwill, actually, I'm pretty sure, which eventually I'll come across them in my collection. All right, kids. I can't believe I found this in the Goodwill. I think every kid, not kid, teenager should watch this, because this teaches some good lessons. It might not have the best language, but I think it teaches some good lessons. Basically, let's just say mess around and find out. But like it says, a wake-up call to the world. It is. And reality's real. Real life. But yeah, I was see 129. Look that up on eBay, what that goes for. I got a really good deal finding that for $1.29. All right, so I had this on VHS. Everybody remembers him. That's the bad guy from Marv, I think it was, from he played on Little Monsters, the father. He played on a lot of stuff, but Celtic Pride is awesome. You never seen it? It's awesome. They basically, Celtic fans kidnap different basketball player. I forgot what team he played on. End up basically kidnapping them because they're so worried about them not winning or whatever. But it's pretty good comedy. Damon Wayans. So, all right, so I came across Resident Evil movies a lot back in the day when I was collecting, and I never bought none of them. It's not, I've seen the original Resident Evil. It's just that, I don't know, I've never been the biggest fan. I've played the games a little bit, but I came across the Resident Evil trilogy for, as you can see, $1.29. So I ended up saying, I'm picking it up. I'm grabbing it. It has a cool slip case. Next one is Nicolas Cage and Lawrence Fishburne and Running with the Devil. Not going to pretend I've never seen it, but I like just about every Nicolas Cage movie I've ever seen. I did hear throughout the last couple of years he's got kind of sloppy with movies, and he'll pretty much make anything almost like Bruce Willis toward the end of his career. So, but I think this is before that era where he started getting sloppy. Day to Earth stood still, Keanu Reeves. I'm wondering if this was a remake, because I'm pretty sure there was a movie back in the day, in like the 60s or 50s, that was called Day in the Earth Stood Still. But, you know, you can't really go wrong with Keanu Reeves. He usually picks good movies to play. So I've never seen this either. Leave a thing in the comments if you ever watched it and what's your thoughts on it. All right, so the last two movies I got tonight is Dollar Tree movies. So we got Sean Penn, the gunman, which, you know, I found Sean Penn's State of Grace at the Dollar Tree. So, you know, I do like Sean Penn as an actor. We ain't going to talk about nothing else, though. If you ever seen this movie, let me know what you think of it if you've seen it. Says it's spectacular. Guess one day I'll find out. But that's still sealed. The thing about Dollar Tree movies, like I took this out of the case. The thing with Dollar Tree movies is a lot of times you'll scan them and a different movie will come up. Now that's not so for all the movies, but some. All right, so this is called Hotel Mumbai. It was a Blu-ray, DVD, and digital on one, and you know, not too bad for $1.25. A gripping clockwork thriller. Never seen it. But I don't know. As visually breathtaking as it is emotionally electrifying. I'm guessing it's good though, so find out one day. Well, at any rate, that is it for tonight for the movies. I did 2 more shelves, and then tomorrow night, I probably won't be home till late, so I might not have another one put out tomorrow, unless I do another one tonight and just do it or whatever. But at any rate, smash that like button if you guys liked it. If you're just new coming to the channel, sub to me. You know, if you like what you've seen so far, the content, I'm guessing if you watched this far, you might like it. Thanks for watching tonight. You guys have a good night, and peace out.